Hi. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a little bit of my story, which I'm pretty sure half of you or most of you know already, but I'm going to share it again anyway. Oh, you switched my view. Oh, hello, face. Okay. It's fine. So I was a coach eons ago. Let's see. Nikki was 2 or 3, I think. And I had gained roughly 70 pounds ish with both of my kids. So my computer's being weird. So by the time I got to done with Nikki, I had gained a lot of weight, and it was all sitting in my thigh, hip, butt figure, that area. It was just stuck there because I also had a job where I sat down all day long. And previously I'd had jobs where I was up and moving around, and then, second baby came and I was working in the office, and it was bad. It was a whole accumulation of that, plus I was living that YOLO life that you only live once, so you eat whatever the hell you want, and you don't drink any water, you drink 6 sodas a day, and you drink all the alcohol and all of that fun stuff. So, yeah. One of my friends from high school was a Beachbody coach. So I joined her. I think I was underneath her for a year and a half, maybe. And it got to be where I was buying the shakes, but I wasn't drinking the shakes because I had gotten sick off of them. And I had gotten sick from like the flu and had a shake previously in the day, and it was not a good combination. So I quit drinking shakes. And in my head, I was like, well, if I'm not gonna drink them anyway, I might as well quit. I might as well just stop doing all the things. I really wasn't working out all that much anyway, because if it was a workout, I didn't want to do it. I tried doing 21-day fix, and it was too hard. Like, moving 330 plus pounds was way too fucking hard. So I did size because it didn't feel like a workout. It felt like fun. So that's what I did. And while size is great, I didn't feel comfortable, because I am super awkward and I am not that good of a dancer. I love to dance, but I'm not a good dancer. So I would start one of them, and I didn't move on to the next one until I had every single move down. So I did the same workout probably 20 or 30 times because I could not get the moves down. I was so awkward, and it was embarrassing to me to work out in front of anyone, or to even hardly tell anyone that I was working out. So if my husband walked in, or even if my kids walked in, I would yell at them to leave me alone, because that was mom's time. Mom needed to work out. I didn't have any workout clothes that fit me. Anything I bought was too tight. So I ended up wearing like pajama pant shorts and a crappy tank top. So like I took no pictures because I didn't want anyone to see what I worked out in. And then when I got sick with the shake, I fell off the wagon. I completely quit. And then I was trying to find something else to fill that void, because I was like, I know I need to lose the weight. I know I need to do this, and I know I need to do all of the things, but working out is really hard and it made me sore, and I don't like it. So I thought that I could bypass the workout part and just do the crazy not eating thing, or I seriously debated on getting diet pills and all of the things. I started doing keto because you don't have to work out to do keto. You just have to eat all of the crap, and it's supposed to be good for you, which is not. And it ended up making me super, super sick. So I fell off the wagon again. even though there's no wagon technically. But I completely quit doing everything. And then my father-in-law got sick and he moved in, and he was with us about 7 months at that point. And I was taking care of him, working a full-time job, taking care of him, taking care of the kids, worried about everything, never had enough money to meet any of my bills, it seemed like. And I couldn't do anything. I was stuck. I had ballooned up to 350 pounds. And because while I was doing keto and all of this stuff and not eating great, I had lost weight, but it wasn't the healthy way. So then I gained all of that back plus some. So I was at like roughly 350. And Jody, who is my sister, who is my coach, had put on Facebook that she had lost 50 pounds. And I messaged her and I was like, where the fuck did you lose 50 pounds from? Because I don't know. You're already skinny. To me, she was skinny. I was like, I don't understand. Where did you lose it from, and how the hell did you do it? And she was talking to me about Beachbody. And it hurt my feelings because when I was a coach, she didn't want to join me. But that's because I wasn't doing the things, so I couldn't expect her to want to do the things. In hindsight, it's much better that it worked out that way, because neither one of us would still be with Beachbody if we had gone with the other direction, but it's fine. So she was talking to me about Lift 4, because it was just getting ready to come out, because she had just been to that Super Saturday right before Lift 4 came out. It was July 2018. And there was this huge group of women. They had taken their picture outside of the stadium, and I was like, well, I want to be included in stuff. I want to be able to get the fuck out of my house every once in a while and go do something fun, not with my family. I love them, but I needed something else. I needed something for me. And then, so I was talking to her about everything, and I was like, I will go ahead and sign up because I love weights. High school did volleyball, and we had running days and we had weightlifting days, and every day to me could be a weightlifting day because I, one, freaking hate running, hated it. And I love lifting weights because it made me feel like a badass, because it was like, I can do 300 pounds with my legs. And in high school, that was super impressive. But now that you actually weigh 300 pounds, it's not super impressive anymore. But it was like, I needed that. So she told me the price, and I was like, I can't afford that. I has $0 in my bank account. And she goes, well, that's fine. She's like, wait until you get paid. And I was like, nope. If I wait until I get paid, I will not do this, because I know me. I am 100% that person that I will do it. I'll do it. And then when it comes down to it, I didn't actually do the things. So I overdrafted my account that night just to buy Lift 4, because then it was like, well, now you got to do it, bitch. And that is exactly what I needed. As soon as my stuff came in, I had crazy massive anxiety because I didn't want, I was afraid. I was super afraid of stopping all of the things that made me feel comfortable, like all of the food that I love to eat, all of the sodas, and having to drink water. I didn't like water. I didn't like any of that crap. And waking up early, because I'm a night owl. So you can catch me up until 2 a.m., but you wouldn't catch me up until right before I had to be up. And then when we started Lift 4, we started working out all as a group at like 5 a.m. And I'm like, what you old bitches waking up so fucking early for? I don't understand. Like, I don't wake up before 7. Why are we waking up so early? And Jody goes, just try it for a few weeks. I promise it makes a huge difference in your day. And it did. Made a huge difference. When I ordered let's see, when I ordered Lift4, I had gotten Energize and Recover because Jody said I would love the Energize, which I totally do because I order 3 times a month. I'm not addicted or anything. It's fine. But but I didn't do the shakes because I was like, I got sick off of them. I don't really want to try them again. But I was making shakes with water at that before because that was really before they told you to do the gluten-free, sugar-free pudding, and before you got the almond milk and all that stuff, that we were told to drink it with water. That's how you're supposed to drink it, with water. Yeah, exactly. That no, thank you. So when I ordered Energized. So then the next month I was like, well, I probably should start doing the shakes so that I start eating better. So then I started ordering shakes. And with Lift4, we did it back to back. I lost, I think it was like 20 pounds and 13 inches. So that was within 16 weeks because that program is 8 weeks long. And I felt so good, so good. I had taken that before picture and that had made me bawl like a baby because I had not really let anybody take a picture of me for a really, really, really long time because I wasn't comfortable being in pictures, and I'm tall. So I like to be in the back anyway because I'm a tall kid. So people stood in front of me, it hid me, that helped. I was always the person that, I'll stay in the back and y'all can just be in front and no one can see me from the shoulders down. And that was my comfort point. So I was like, I can't be like that anymore. So when I took my after pictures, I felt really, really good, really good. But my belly that had always been like really full feeling and like solid because I'd had a C-section and scar tissue and all of that stuff, it was starting to droop a little and has been like not droop but saggy, whatever. And it makes me feel super self-conscious. So at that point I was like, okay, I need to do this program and I need to do this program and I need to do this program. But then when it would come down to it, I was like, I don't like anything but Lift4. So, and I'm super picky about what trainer I use because if they annoy me after 2 weeks, it makes me not want to use them, which is a horrible way of doing things, but that I have to be able to stay interested. So Joel is the only trainer that we have that I listen to zero music when I am working out with him because I just need his voice and his dad jokes to get me through a workout. But most of the other girls, like every girl, I need the music in order for me to get through it. So I started July 2018. I've done Lift4 5 times. I think 5 times. I've done, I've done T20. I've done 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme. I started 80 Day Obsession. It was not for me in that season for sure. So I only made it like 30 days in. But that is something I'm going to address at some point. I'm going to go back to it. So, but my thing was, so we started in July. By it was like October or November, I was still having a really hard time showing up for myself early and being a good mom and all of that stuff. And I'm like really all over the place. Sorry, guys. So I was told that I needed personal development. And to me, I was like, that shit's hokey. I'm not doing personal development. That shit's stupid. I'll just say that I'm listening to it and it'll be fine. They won't know the difference. They will have no idea. Except for everybody knows when you don't do personal development because your attitude is shit. And it's always, because I can tell when I don't do it enough, it's always like, woe is me, somebody come save me, come fix all my problems, and I complain a lot more than a lot more, which is ebbs and flows, some days you need just a little bit and some days you need a whole lot. So, but I had started with Rachel Hollis. Oh my God, I couldn't think of her name for a second. Rachel Hollis's book, That Girl Wash Your Face. And that changed so much for me because it was like, holy shit, there are people who actually think like me that I love my children, but if I could what did she say? If I could rip his arm off and beat him over the head with it, that's what I was like before all of the things. Cause I was like, yeah, I'm like, I literally just did that like yesterday. I'll beat your ass. And so like that changed me a lot. And so now personal development is the thing. If I don't, like, I am really good about getting a workout in now, every day, or pretty much every day. But if I don't do anything else, I'll do personal development, whether it's a podcast or reading or both. And a lot of days it's both because my mindset needs it. I am a middle child of 5, and just that beating myself up, self-sabotage thing, it's kind of my go-to. That's what I slide back into. So getting myself out of that takes a lot of personal development. So now that we are doing that Book Babes Club, I now have reasons to buy all of the books. So I have like 30 here, I think. And some of them I've read, some of them I haven't yet. So, but there is not going to be a day from now on that I do not read at least 10 pages because I know that my body needs it. I know my mindset needs it. Because like, and some of them that have changed my life entirely is like That Girl Wash Your Face and Mastering Your Mean Girl. That Mastering Your Mean Girl book is amazing. It's amazing. Like that one is what finally kicked my ass into gear this year, because that's what I needed. I needed that slap in the face. So I don't really know what else I need. I'm sure there is a ton about my story in my life that I haven't covered, that I probably could, but I don't know how long you want me to talk for. So
how do you think the personal development like affected your journey though? Like once you started personal development, what changes came after that?
Depending on the book, depending on the podcast. So I am an Enneagram 7. So I love listening to Keisha Fitzgerald and the fire and the energy she brings, and that slightly crazy psycho energy that she has sometimes. And it's like, oh, that's my energy that no one else sees but my kids. Like nobody sees that energy from me. Every once in a while, half the time my husband doesn't even see that energy from me because I give it to the kids before he gets home. But if I had not leaned into personal development, I probably wouldn't be here because my mindset was shit when I first started. It was constantly asking myself how I had let myself get so bad rather than how can we get better? So without personal development, there's just not a chance in hell I would still be here. Not a chance. But the thing is with personal development, like the first year roughly that I was reading and listening and all of the things, year and a half, I was taking it in, but I wasn't applying it to anything. So it was like, in one ear and out the other. Like I would listen to something 3 or 4 times before it would finally kind of sink in a little bit. And I like that we've been doing the notes and stuff like that with the book club. That has helped, when I highlight things, when I write stuff down, it's like, oh, when I write stuff down, shit sticks in my head a lot better than it used to, for sure. But I'm just a generally happier person because, when you're in it, that every day, just going to work and I'm just doing, I go to work, I come home, I do the kids, I cook supper, I do the dishes, we do baths, we go to bed. That monotony was kicking my ass because it was like, if something's got to give, and the only thing that can give is, my workouts and my me time. And with personal development, it was like, if you give this up, you're going to sink right back into that hole. Do we want to go back to that hole? Do we want to become that person again? Do we want to go back to that? So that's what's been a big changer for me. So I don't know if that answered your question or not. Sorry.
I'm curious, what do you feel that this team / coaching, what is the one thing, the most important thing it's given you?
You guys and believe in myself. Because like before, when I was even with the other team, like I had never finished a program, like ever. I had tried size, like I told you, I did one workout like 20 or 30 times before I felt comfortable enough to do the next one. And then it would piss me off. So I'd go back to the other one and make sure I had those moves down. And that belief that I can actually work through something and finish something is not something that I had really ever had before. That I am not a huge friend with girls. Like I've worked in factory settings. Growing up, I had a lot of guy friends because I have 3 sisters. So I naturally gravitated away from girls because there was just a lot of estrogen in our house, a lot of it. And we were always pissy and fighting. And so when I started working in an office, after I had been working at a factory for years and years, and I started working in an office, and it was full of women, it was like, oh, you got to watch what you say to this person because this person will say this to this person, and then it starts World War III, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I had gotten away from, like, I was friendly, but I wasn't friends with anybody. And with this team, like, I talk to 3 of you daily, all day long. I talk to girls, like, reaching out to them if I need something or if they need something from me. I love that. It's really changed everything. I was not a hiker before until you guys invited me on a hike, and then I was like, man, I really don't like the outdoors that much, but I guess I'll go because I need time for me away from my family and away from my house. And I, at that point, like, because I have sisters, but me and 2 of the sisters, we get along, but not fantastical. And with me and Jody, there's only so much girl time that we can get together because we have families and stuff like that. So it was just that community, that place for accountability, that's the game changer for sure, 100%.
So do you think that there has been one specific thing that has attributed from this journey to your life to get you through the ebbs and flows of 2020?
One thing, when I need someone to light a fire under my ass, it's you guys. When I need someone to be that mirror and say, this is what you're doing, that's you guys. That accountability in the morning when I don't want to wake up. But I know that if I don't, someone will see that I'm not online and they'll see that I'm not showing up for myself. That's you guys. When I need that extra fire in the evenings, I can call on one of you guys and be like, hey, I don't know what to write in my post, or this is what my post is. Hopefully you guys, that makes sense to somebody else other than my own brain. That's you guys. So personal goals. So I've got a few. I'm going to continue doing that, reading 10 pages a day, at least 10 pages a day. Today I read 2 chapters, 1 in each book, because I'm reading 2 books right now. And that felt really good to me. It made my workout a little bit later, which isn't exactly necessary later on once the kids go back to school, but right now it's fine. So making sure I get in that time for me in the morning for sure. One of my books is the 12-week year. So 2021 is going to be broke down into 12-week years so that I can get more done, because I have some super crazy lofty ass goals that I've decided that I want. And last year I wanted them, but then didn't do anything with them. Like I didn't work towards them. I just sat here and was like, yep, in 2 years, I'm going to be a 15-star diamond and I'm going to have thousands of coaches underneath me because I'm amazing. And then didn't actually believe in it after I said it out loud. So, because I was like, y'all crazy. You crazy. No one's coming to you. It's fine. So it just, I still have that huge ass goal, but now this year it feels a lot more attainable. But so I want to lose 80 pounds this year. Plus would be great, but I want to lose 80 pounds this year. Because like the last 6 months of 2020 has been just me fighting challenges and challenging myself with things. So I did the reset because at the beginning I told myself there's just not a chance in hell I can do it. So I forced myself to do it. I have been fighting little challenges here and there in my own daily stuff. And that's what I want 2021 to be. I want it to be challenging, and that losing 80 pounds in a year is challenging as fuck, but it's attainable. So that's what I want. I want to lose 80 pounds. I want to read. I don't know how attainable this is going to be, but I want to read a book, at least a book a month, if not a book or 2 a month, preferably 2. I would like to get to where I read a book a week, but that takes time that I don't know if I will have once I have my last day tomorrow. 1.5 pounds a week. I can do that. It's totally fine. I can do that. It's fine. Fuck. I want to do 75 hard. I want to do, I quit my job. So tomorrow's my last day at my 9-to-5 job. And that still sounds fucking scary and not quite right. So my goal for 2021 is to make coaching and designing my full-time gig. Designing has always been on the back burner. It's something that I want to do more of. And I have worked on getting jobs that have been about design. And I thought this job was going to be it, because I just started this job in March, by the way, which was a horrible time to start a job, but I didn't know that. But I wanted to be designing every day. And since then, it's just been a lot of Excel sheets, which I am not here for. It's very little design work. I actually do more design work for Deidre than I do for this job. And that's not enough for me to get paid what I get paid to deal with men who I find problems with, but that's just this point. So designing for me or something that it feels like it's going to help people, because the designing that I've been doing for this job definitely doesn't help anybody but the company. I want it to help people. I want it to be that one thing that somebody needs, because that's what I need. That one tracker that encompasses all of my things in one spot, because I don't do well super scattered. I like to say that I do. I like to say that I like organized chaos. And if you look at my desk right now, it's totally chaotic. But I like having all of my shit in one place. It helps me 100%. So that's what I want to do, is design for me, for this team, random things that are going to help people. And I want to coach, and that is not something I ever wanted to do before. When I started in 2018 and Dieter was like, you want to coach? I'm like, nope. I'm going to be a discount coach. I don't want to coach anybody because I am chunky AF. I don't want to coach anybody. I don't want that responsibility on my head because I can't even get my own shit straight. I don't want somebody else's shit. That was my thing. And then the longer I've been here, the more I see it. It's my story, the way I felt before I said yes, is what a lot of people have issues with. So that's what I want to help people with. That I feel fucking lost and I don't know what to do and I don't know where to go and I feel like I've lost myself. That panic, anxiety, and fear ball wrapped up into a shit ton of shame and anger, all rolled up into a ball of I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I don't know where to go with that. That's what I want to help people with, because that's how I was before I started. So I think I listed all my goals. I'm sure there's a few that I've missed because I have like 20 written down. So yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? I think Deirdre's frozen. Or is it just me? Maybe it's me.
It's probably my internet.
Okay.
My internet stinks. I'm over here clapping literally on screen. You can't even see it. It's fine.
No, you were just sitting there staring at me. I'm like, anybody else?
You killed it, girl. I appreciate you sharing your story and your heart and being so vulnerable.
Thanks. That's not something I am very good at. Something that I want to practice for sure. Because one of my long-term goals is to be the next Rachel Hollis, but not so much the talking part, because I'm not super awesome with words on the spot. I'm much better writing it down, and I used to not be like that either. So there's that.
One day at a time.
So
I think you're great at talking. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
you guys all froze. Is it my internet maybe? Fuck. Yep, my internet is unstable. Of course it is.
We can hear you as you cuss. It's fine.
Sorry.
Hey, you're the F-bomb mom. We can't wait to order your affirmation cards.
I've been writing down a few at a time. When I think of them, I'm like, just write that down.
Absolutely. I love it.
I'm ordering everything. I'm ordering your tracker planner, all the things. Natalie, you're going to be amazing.
First, I got to figure out how the fuck to do it, but it's fine. I just have this idea in my head, and I just got to make it so that it encompasses all the things. That's what I want. You know, like that happy planner. I don't know if you guys have one of those. I used to have one of those forever ago, and I loved it. I might not do quite so extensive and not necessarily the stickers, but I do like there was affirmations on every page, and there was, they didn't have the tracker on there. They had a to-do list that you could fill in yourself. I want it filled in for me, and then I just check mark the things. That's what I want. So, but yeah, that's the next goal.
You slayed it. Thank you for sharing tonight. I appreciate you so much. If no one else has questions, then I'll end the recording.
Okay.